This is Mattowarrior from Mattowarrior's Metal Madness. We're talking to Constantine from the band Sorceress of Sin. And tell me more about how did this project start? I noticed started in 2020, which is a very interesting time to start a band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what happened was that around 2000, I want to say 19, I saw an ad of Lisa, the main, the vocalist of the band, looking for a guitar player around that time for a completely different project. Right. And we got in contact and we exchanged a few ideas and pretty much nothing happened. Right. And that was it. Never spoke about it again. And after the pandemic started and everything like that, she got in contact with me again, and pretty much they gave me this. They pitched me the idea of how about we do an album. Like it was along the lines of being in one-off around that time. So just they do a studio album and that's it. No lives, no touring, nothing like that, right? And I said, yeah. I mean, again, like I mentioned, it was the pandemic, so there was nothing to do around that time. So I sat down, recorded the tracks, pretty much without really thinking, it should sound like this, or like thinking it should sound like a specific genre of metal, or just recording whatever riffs come to mind, really. And that was it. I went put the album out, and we got very good feedback by a lot of people. And later on, that album led us to be part of the Bloodstock Festival in the UK. I think it was on the day that Judas Priest were headlining. It was very special. Yeah, for me as a fan, because I love Judas Priest. I grew up listening to Judas Priest. And I think the process was, again, because there's a little bit of the element of there's a little bit of luck, obviously. It's not just the music or whatever. Because of pandemic, there weren't bands from outside there weren't bands outside of the UK that couldn't take part in the festival. So it was mainly UK based bands. So what happened was, I think they took about 600. There's an article about that. They either took 600 bands randomly, or the album, something like that. And anyway, they chose 18 bands out of 600, out of the list of 600. That's the main thing. And we were one of those bands. And we're very happy about it, obviously, and honored to be part of Bloodstock. Pretty much that's how everything started. And around that time, we were recording the second album, funny enough. So we had quite a lot of material to show off to all these people out there on the festival. So yeah, it was a great experience and great opportunity.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was watching some of the clips from that too. So that was
yeah, they're on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, how did you get such a good reporting on the first go ahead on that with such a new project?
I mean, it's a lot of things. Obviously, Tom, who does the production, did an excellent job. Really grateful for everything he's done with us, because he helped us with the arrangements when it comes to the orchestration and the keyboards and all that stuff, obviously. And like it made us show like a more professional product, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like, because we had the songs right down already, but he adding up his little touch made it sound even more, sound greater, sound more professional, sound more, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I mainly was him, I would say. And other than that, it was just us have the freedom to do whatever we wanted, because again, it was a pandemic. There was no arguments about the structure of the songs or how they're meant to sound, or like everyone was doing their part and no one was complaining, or like Lisa was doing the vocals, and that she was she's her job was to do the vocals as much as like to do it her way. Yeah, so it wasn't my place or anyone's place to go to Lisa. I'm like, can you sing this like a little bit like that? Or can you sing this chorus like this? Same thing with the guitar, same thing with the drums, same thing with the bass. So that freedom, I think, like you gave the album that little bit something,
Oh yeah, definitely. So I did notice that the second album is definitely more traditional than the first one. Is that kind of a conscious decision? I mean, I definitely that's definitely more to my liking as far as my own tastes. But yeah, I like both sounds, of course. But was that kind of a conscious decision, or?
I want to say yes, because when they gave me the idea of, hey, do you want to do this album with us? And I say yes. The problem I had to face was that I didn't know what to write. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what are we doing? Are we doing death metal? Are we doing power metal? I mean, I'm not talking about vocal wise. I'm talking just the music, right?
Oh yeah.
That's why the first album's got like 7-string guitars, got like low tunings. I was experimenting throughout the songs, and by the end of the album, I think the last track I wrote was Empire of Stones, which is more like a traditional. It's got like the galloping thing going on. It's more like a traditional metal track.
Oh yeah.
And I knew when I was writing the song, like the next album would be along the lines of that, but obviously bigger. And I want to be like more epic and have like longer songs with orchestras and all that stuff. So yeah, it was kind of a conscious decision, I would say, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It did turn out to be a good decision, though, I think, for sure. So, and let's see. So, I guess so you write most of the songs, or who are the primary drivers of the music?
Yeah, I write the majority of the music. I mean, almost everything, and I give it the guys. I might have a melody in my head, like from before or whatnot, but like I don't tell Lisa what to record and vocals. She does whatever she wants. So I'm pretty much recording the guitars on the metronome, send them over. Like that's usually our guide during the recording process, and we add in the drums, and we add in the bass, and then I re-record the guitars again, and then on top of that we do the vocals and all the keyboards and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great. So yeah, one of the things I did notice though is that I couldn't get a lot of like on Metal Archives, like I know Encyclopedia Metallum, they don't have the lyrics printed. I know you had a few lyric videos, but I mean, if you can go through like especially like what the new album is, because I actually just listened to it again today. What are the songs? Is there like a concept going through that, or what's the situation with that?
Yeah. So the first album, there isn't much of a concept other than we follow the traditional fantasy-based lyrics, right? We're talking about like sorcerers and magic and all that stuff. But the second album, we kind of made up that story of this sorcerer guy who's dead, and then trying to bring him back to life. That's actually it starts from first song and ends up like on the very last track. If you listen to the lyrics of the last track, they're talking about like bring him back and all that. And so yeah, it's a fantasy story. It's not based on something pre-existing. It was just something we made up.
Yeah, that's awesome because I don't know if it was just the Bandcamp didn't like have that option to look at the lyrics. Maybe it's just music browser or something. I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't see the lyrics for that, but I kind of could tell that there was a concept, and that's another thing that is rare because like Blind Guardian only did that like on one of their last albums where they had a more original concept. it's like every band wants to write it, other than like King Diamond or Voivod, who have their own concepts.
Yeah.
It's like it's cool to write your own original story. I think as far as
Yeah. Like I will be honest with you, it didn't start that way. Again, we wrote the first couple of songs, and then we're like, oh, how about we make this story about blah blah blah? You know what I mean? And then on the last track, if you pay close attention to the lyrics, you hear references for the previous songs of the album, and kind of like ties up everything together on the last track.
Oh, that's cool.
So yes, that was something like we really wanted to do.
Yeah, that's definitely really cool. I mean, I guess let's see. So, I mean, what got you into music then? As far as what are your beginnings like with that?
I mean, how I started playing guitar.
Oh yeah.
Should we go there? Yeah. That was very so. I had a friend who going to school, and he was listening to Scorpions, and he was like, "Hey, check this out," and I liked it, but I wasn't still. I was around 13, 14 years ago. Sorry, years old. I mean, 13, 14 years old at that time. And I liked it, but I didn't say I want to play guitar right away. So some other time, me and my brother, we visited one of his classmates, and when I walked into his friend's bedroom, I saw on the wall was like a graphic painting on the wall of the Kiss logo, right? And I saw that, and I'm like, oh, what is that? It looks so cool, right? And he burned a CD with pre-internet is that, by the way. He burned a CD with some random songs. Yeah, he had like I think he had the Master of Puppets with the orchestra, the one. What was it? Black Diamond of Kiss. Iron Man of Black Sabbath, and Paranoid. The very classic tracks, right, that everyone knows.
Oh yeah.
And I listened to it. I was hooked. I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome, right? But still, I wasn't. It didn't cross my mind I want to play guitar. And the track really done it for me. It was on the first Iron Maiden album, Phantom of the Opera. And it's the part of the thing. It's the beginning of the song. It's like middle of the song. It stops. There's a little pause, I believe, and there's like a little 2-string arpeggio thing going on. And I heard that, and I was like, I want to do that. Like I want to learn how to do that. And then I got very disappointed because I started playing guitar, and I sucked. And yeah. But yeah, pretty much that was the beginning, of endless hours of practicing and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of how I got into metal as well. Was my brother had Live After Death, the video cassette. That's how old I am. I was like, my sister had warned me against because that was back when metal fans were a little bit more associated with being juvenile delinquents and so forth. So my sister warned me about it, like, oh, don't become what do they call them, skids back then or whatever. And I was like, I was just bored at my father's house, and I just started watching on Saturday nights because my parents were divorced, but I would spend part of the weekend with them, and my brother was living with them at the time, and I started watching Live After Death, and I was just like, I like this, I want to do this, So,
yeah.
It was weird, but yeah. So I mean, if you as far as guitarists, who do you really like nowadays?
Well, I had my phases. I had my John Petrucci phase and my Yngwie Malmsteen phase, and but I would say, well, Jeff Loomis. I'll put Malmsteen up there. I'll put Jason Becker, Gus G. All the Aussie guys, Zach Wild, Randy Rhoads, Jake Lee, you name them. Who else? Vi. I like Vi. Even though not in the last few albums, I haven't really paid close attention. These guys. Like all the either the 80s Shredder guys, all the guys who were influenced by the 80s Shredder guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. You mentioned Scorpions earlier. Are you a fan of Uli John Roth at all? Or
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. I've seen him live actually. When was it? It was in 2007, I want to say. He did like a very brief, quote unquote, reunion tour with Scorpions.
oh wow,
So it was basically the Scorpions will come out, play their set, and then Uli would join them for a few songs. It wasn't playing with them throughout the show, but it was cool, like seeing him live. But yeah, I like Uli. Yeah, he's a personality, definitely.
oh yeah, I met him actually back in what was that 2004.
All right,
I got a
nice.
autographed ticket from him. Yeah, it's been my favorite for a long time. Him and Shanker and
Oh man, yeah. Shanker is fantastic. Yeah,
John.
like I love the which one is it? Assault Attack. I think it's Shanker.
Oh yeah, it's
I love the album, man. I love the album.
yeah, he's great. He's hard to learn too because there's not a lot of unfortunately there's not like a lot of tabs. So I'm actually trying to learn like the Strangers in the Night version of Rock Bottom, and some of the stuff is like hard to hear and stuff. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
I'll have to slow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that's crazy because I'm actually in a band that's going to do a cover of the live version, which is insane, but I'm trying.
All right. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what else do you like to do for fun as far as outside the band?
Mainly outside the band, just I got my family, I got two kids, my wife, and just spend time with them. Not much, because like working, having a band, having a family, it does take a lot of my time. Obviously, before the recording, we mentioned something about comic books. I am a comic book fan. I'll be honest, I haven't bought any comic books the last 5-6 years, but because I don't read any, anymore. But I've been like for a lot of years a big fan. And I like movies, like games, all that stuff, all the nerdy stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm actually into role playing too, which is kind of a thing I've noticed a lot of people that I interview are into that. So
like D&D stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played D&D since I was 15, 16 years old. But yeah, I know the addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, we play I play World of Darkness once a week, actually. It's like Vampire Masquerade kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
I actually played John Constantine in one of them, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, hilarious. I try to fake my bad British accent and stuff, so. Yeah. Have you ever thought about turning like some of the concepts? I know like bands are doing that more nowadays into a comic format or anything like of Sorceress of Sin or?
I mean, if the idea presents itself, someone has a cool idea about it, and we like it. Yeah, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say why not. It sounds something that can be explored, and yeah, it sounds like an interesting idea type of thing.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think King Diamond just came out with a Abigail comic or something. I haven't even read it, but
oh really? I know. I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Or some kind of graphic novel or something. Yeah, I want to actually check that out. And more bands could do that too. And I know very controversial band nowadays, but Iced Earth was really associated with that too for a long time. But Spawn and
yeah. Iced Earth. Yeah, not many people talk about them anymore, or they don't want to talk about them, I suppose.
I saw they have some kind of hot sauce or something now. I'm like, what the hell?
Like every other band, how many bands are like that actually have like a hot sauce, or what is it, Black Labor Society have like a coffee now?
Yeah, it's just too common.
And Tony Iommi put his name on the perfume, I believe. I was reading.
Oh my god! Yeah.
If you look it up, it's they actually made a video about it.
Yeah, I think he plays. I saw that. I think he plays actually a really good riff too for it. Like he,
I'm not gonna lie, the track is fantastic. It's fantastic. But the product they're selling you is kind of, huh?
yeah, it's very bizarre. I think
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine was talking about some cologne or something the other day too. I'm like, okay, that's Dave Mustaine, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I love Dave, man. I love Dave, but
I actually met him once too, and he was. It's an experience meeting him, and like if you grew up with, I don't know if you grew up with Megadeth or anything, but
Mhm.
like if you have this image in your mind of meeting someone like that, and you're like, I mean, people they like to downgrade him and stuff and talk shit about him and stuff, and it's understandable sometimes when he's a little loose with his words and stuff, but when you meet him, you're like you kind of get it's like you kind of get it, it's really weird, hard to
Mm.
explain, it's really strange, but yeah, I guess. So as far as what are the plans for the band as far as touring, or do you have any good offers coming up, or?
Well, we do have a few lives coming up. We got one on the 22nd this month. Here in the UK, like mainly our live shows are like local, like they're UK based. Uh, and we do have some offers for throughout the year. Obviously, we announce all that on our Facebook page on Sorceress of Sing, Melodic Mel, I think it's called the page. We announce there everything, all our live shows, everything that's coming out. But we do have about 5, 6 shows coming up.
Oh, cool.
Uh, like they're already prepared. Like we already everything's arranged. Everything like we know who's playing in top bill, support, everything. So yeah, we're looking forward to do that, and at the same time, we start the process on third album,
Oh, wow.
which will be another concept one. I can't say exactly what's about, but it's along the lines of the second album. Like there is bases in like mythology and fantasy and magic and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are some of your like favorite writers as far as all that goes?
Talking about like books or
Oh yeah, for sure.
well, I'm not gonna surprise you. I'm a Tolkien guy. uh, I think every male here is a Tolkien guy at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
and
yeah.
and I'm not gonna. I saw the films and then the books before I listened to Blind Guardian. Fun enough, but Blind Guardian did it before the movies, which is even more outrageous. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, like I like all the fancy stuff, all the George R. R. Martin, the Game of Thrones, Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings, and all that. Yeah, and obviously because I'm originally I'm from Greece. I got love for like mythology and stories about ancient Greece and ancient Egypt and Vikings and all that stuff. It fascinates me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think is it Virgin Steel that talks about some of that stuff a lot.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
yeah. I like have all their albums pretty much. I think maybe some of the new ones I don't have, but yeah, I like them.
Mm.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool
good
stuff.
band, good band.
Yeah. So if you had to recommend 5 albums that are completely underrated to people, what would those albums be?
Ooh, underrated, huh? See, underrated. I don't want to mention any band that only 10 people know. So I'll go with like big bands or
Hmm.
big artists, and I'll mention albums that probably not many people are talking about. Like, um, I know, like on Maiden, the Somewhere in Time. Not that it's not a bad album. I mean, God forbid, it's a great album. But everyone's talking about Power Slave, and Number of the Beast, and Seventh Son, and not many people mention that,
And they
which I
never
find
play
odd.
anything from it either. So
Yeah, I know. And there's one of my favorite tracks there, Alexander the Great, which I love. It's like the stuff I like, long songs talking about epic tales and all that stuff. I love that. I love that stuff. Um, what else? I like it. You know, I like the Zach Wild album. Actually, I'll give two albums from Zach Wild. The Pride and Glory he did that no many, which like more like a country southern rock style.
oh yeah.
Uh, I've never seen people talking about that album. It's such a, I don't know. It's just forgotten. Forgot between No More Tears he did with Ozzy and all his Black Label stuff. No one talks about that.
No, I remember
And the
that.
other, yeah, it was really cool, man. Really, a little heavy riffs and you got like a banjo going on, like a really good album. And the other one I really liked was the Book of Shadows. The first one, because I think the last 2 years he did like a Book of Shadows 2 or something, which is like all acoustic, again by Zach Wild. I do think like people should check those two albums. Really cool, really cool. And that'll be three albums. Another two, another two. Probably by Black Sabbath. A lot of people like to talk about the debut album and Paranoid and Masters of Reality, which they're great albums. I think Never Say Die is a cool one that no one talks about. Um, I don't know. What else? What will be the fifth one? What will be the
But a
fifth?
band that's like new that people should all check out that you discovered.
Oh, okay, all right, that's easy. That's an easy one. I'll tell one of my favorites, Firewind. They're a Greek band. Like I mentioned, I'm from Greece, Greek band. It's the, I don't know if you're familiar with Gus G, his work.
Oh yeah, well, I just saw them
Yeah,
live open for Dragon Force.
there you go. Yeah. I think if there's one album you should check, I'll give two. It'll be either The Premonition from 2008 or Immortals from I think 2017, which it's a concept album about like the 300. I don't know if you're familiar with the story with the Spartans and all that.
Oh, a little bit, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a concept album about that war between the 300 Spartans and the Persians.
Oh, yeah, no, I quite like their performance, and all honesty, I'm not gonna without trying to say without trying to be too opinionated. I'll just say I preferred their performance to Dragon Force's.
They're a different band, I know they class as power metal, but it's different. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. One
Yeah,
band with the other, and I'm not going to say who's better, who's worse.
right. Yeah, I just don't want to get. I mean, I sometimes I'll get in trouble a little bit. So.
but it is a different type of band.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, oh, it's just Gus G really blew me away with the guitars. It was just amazing. Just I'd never seen him, and I know he played with Ozzy for a minute or whatever on that album, which he didn't even write any of it.
That's an underrated album. There you go, Scream. It's no Blizzard of Oz, and it's no Diary of a Madman, obviously, and it's no Bark at the Moon, and it's no More Tears. You can't compare it to that. But on its own, I think it's a very decent album. It's a little bit different for Ozzy. There's a lot of different, like low tuning guitars and a lot of things going on when it comes to the orchestration of the songs. I think it's a very decent album for what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard it. I just heard the title track.
Yeah. That one is really cool. Title track, yeah.
But I always hear about a lot of the machinations of the Osborne family, with regards to Sharon and all the controversy.
Yeah.
I kind of jumped off while back off of listening to any newer Ozzy. I don't know, probably partly because of that, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I do like Ultimate Sin too, even though people he doesn't like the album himself. I don't think it's reissued, but I always like the Ultimate Sin.
I like too. The only thing I would say is I'm not a big fan of the mix of the album. I don't know. It sounds a little bit like something's off
Oh yeah,
when it comes to it. But yeah, there's a lot of nice. Like the title track is good. Killer of Giants, I think, is on this album as well. I believe the track. I don't know, man. There are quite a good gems in that album. It's just a shame that he doesn't play those songs anymore.
yeah. It's one of those. It's one of those things. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was because of the royalties or whatever to Phil Susan or whatever, like with
Mm.
Shot in the Dark. There was so much controversy with that. But yeah, I like it. I just like Jake Ely a lot. I'm kind of been getting into more of his stuff. And
Yeah, he's another guy who's kind of like if you're not a fan of Ozzy and you know the history, if you're not, you probably don't know who Jake Lee is. And he's fantastic. I like his stuff with Badlands. I like the stuff he did with Ozzy. I'm a big fan. He's a fantastic player, honestly.
yeah, like the Bark at the Moon solo. Like there's these stretches that he does. I'm like, I'm not going to
Yeah,
do it that way.
have you seen it live? How he does like the thing with the thumb?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
I've
like,
seen that. Yeah.
because like I went through a phase like where I was comparing guitar players, not in a sense of who's better. I'm like who's about let's see how Randy plays this solo and how Jake plays it, and how Zach and how Gusty, and you could see like everyone's got like their own little their own touch, their own way of playing the thing. But Jake, he's like his own stuff. He's like another level.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
it's fascinating just to watch him playing.
Yeah, it's a weird style of playing. Like I was trying to play the Bark of the Moon arpeggio at the end. The his way. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So this is like all the way across the fretboard. It might sound a
Yeah,
little different, but
there's only one Jake Lee, man.
oh yeah,
That's for
for sure.
sure. That's for sure.
It's kind of a shame what happened to him because he could have done a lot more music by now. He did Badlands and a solo album. Now he was in another band now, but like in between that period, I mean, could have been in a lot more stuff. But I don't know
Oh
what
no,
happened.
no, it is a shame. Like he he does he deserves to be more well known. Like everyone knows Zach Wild and everyone knows Randy Rhoads, but like in between, either few people know or they just don't bother to know like who played with Ozzy or uh, but yeah, it is a shame. Like he's such a great player and unique. That's more important. He's a unique player.
Oh yeah, I also like a lot of people. More people are talking about this nowadays, but I like the Speak of the Devil album. I think they call it Talk of the Devil over in the UK, but the Sabbath
Yeah,
live.
I know it as yeah, Speak of the Devil as well. Yeah, I'm the same. I used to hate the album growing up, and the last few years, yeah, I've I don't know, I've listened more and more again for the same reasons I mentioned. Like I want to listen how he plays those classic Sabbath songs. How he plays this riff, how he plays that guitar solo. It's yeah, it's very interesting. Very great album. That's another underrated album. There you go.
Yeah, I think Brad Gillis. I mean, he uses a lot of the whammy bar, but his tone on that
Yeah,
album is great.
he sounds very he's doing all the 80s shtick, if you know what I mean, like the whammy bar and but it's great. It's he does it great. So yeah, why not? Yeah, go ahead, do it.
But Ozzy sounds over the top on that album. That's probably why I like it because he's probably just did a mountain of coke before he recorded that. Probably a studio
Yeah,
recording, but yeah.
yeah, that was one of the bad. No, not bad. Yeah, it was right after the Randy Rhoads incident. So Ozzy is not in a good place, I believe, from because I've read his autobiography. Uh, and yeah, I think Ozzy's not in a good phase in his life at that point. So he's a little bit excessive, a little bit, yeah.
He just sounds like really just intense on that album. Even like
Hmm.
compared to like what is it called? Well, there was it Past Lives, the Black Sabbath live one, but there was like it used to be called Live at Last, or half of it was Live at Last, and he sounds good on that one. But that for some reason that Speak of the Devil, just his performance on there is just it's way more over the top in my opinion. I don't know, just like
Hmm.
wow,
Hmm.
I love listening to that one for some reason. But
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
so, so I guess tell us more about what you have in the short term with Sorceress of Sin.
Oh, pretty much the same. Same as always. Just got another gig next week, and then more recording, and hopefully, and then there's another few gigs. I think it's next month, and the month after that.
Cool.
And yeah, we literally like in the put everything lying, so we have the album ready for I hope September time. For release, and yeah, hopefully, yeah, everything
It's
go
like a
according to
work.
plan.
You're all workhorses. I mean, it's just crazy how much stuff you come out with.
I am surprised how in how long it took. About we I think we released two albums in what 9 to 10 months time, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But we live in a society where pretty sure you heard this. There's a sort of attention span going on, so you have to keep producing. You have to be active on the scene.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, or else people are just going to move on to the next band or the next track, the next album, next whatever.
Very true.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to have. You have to try to just keep hammering at it and have some type of longevity.
Hmm.
It's very elusive. So,
Yeah.
but have you ever any like big plans for a stage show, like any kind of props or anything like that, or?
At the moment, no. Just pretty much what you saw from the Bloodstock clips, like for our like stage presence. That's what it is at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Nothing big, nothing crazy or exaggerated or yeah.
That's cool.
Uh,
Because yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. For a long time, people frowned upon that stuff, and now obviously it's back. That whole theatrical thing. I think it's pretty
yeah,
cool.
and I think that's a little bit of a. You see, like a female, which by the way, I hate that term.
So you were saying about female-fronted like label and term, right?
Yeah, like wait, I lost my train of thought now. Yeah, like because we're talking about there are bands who do the theatrical, like the female bands who do like the theatrical thing, and I said like I don't that needs to exist obviously, even if it's like symphonic metal, black metal, or whatnot. But like for us, I like the fact that we're just a band going on stage, play the songs, and just like everyone's got fun, everyone's having fun, and it's great. Like it's like personally, I like that. That there's simplicity in our stage presence. If that makes any sense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean a lot. I just like the return of some of the pomp of some of these. Like I'm not a big fan of Ghost, but like I think it's cool that they have like a cool stage show and stuff.
Yeah. Like again, nothing wrong with that. If you like that stuff and that expresses you, yeah, go ahead, do it. Well, why not?
Oh yeah. So I think I'll close it out with that. I'll definitely I definitely appreciate the interview and everything. So I will plug your band as much as possible on this, and it's cool stuff. Very, very unique. I'd say the vocals are very unique. Great guitar playing, spectacular production.
Oh, thank you,
So it's
thank you.
really cool stuff. But yeah, I'll conclude right here. But it was great.
Yeah,
It was
man,
great
and
talking to you.
yeah, I want to thank you for having me, and I really appreciate it. And I wish you all the best for you and your show.
Oh, thanks. Have a good night
All
then.
right. Thank you so much, man. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.